guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today and watching this video. So I know that I haven't been posting in a while, which I do apologize about, but I do have a very exciting video for you guys today. In my absence, we unfortunately have had a few updates, a few losses in the rat family, which is extremely sad. If you're on this video because you have kept rats yourself, you will know that they die quite a lot, which is a really big downside of owning rats. They only have a life expectancy of 2.5 to 3 years, and if they make it to 3, that is kind of a miracle. Things usually start going wrong the second that they reach the 2-year mark, and they hardly ever just die peacefully. It's almost always they get a really gruesome illness. It's usually quite horrible deaths, which is really, really sad and seems really cruel and undeserving to these beautiful creatures, but I guess it's just nature. That's just how it goes. I did unfortunately lose Smudge and Blackberry. Smudge was my Siamese and Blackberry was my Black Berkshire who didn't have a tail. Now I only have 3 left. So I did think it was about time to expand the rat family and get some more younger ones, get some beautiful babies to add to the pack. So I did what I always do when I'm trying to get new rats, is I contact my local sanctuaries in London, which is where I'm located, to ask if they had any rats available. I was looking for 2 or 3 younger rats, preferably below 1, but I was willing to be flexible based on whatever is available. And I didn't particularly mind boys or girls, seeing as I already have a mixed group. I have 1 girl and 2 boys. They're all neutered, obviously, so there's no chance of any babies. I've mainly just had boys, so I was open to possibly getting girls this time. So this one sanctuary did get back to me and tell me that they had some rats available. This is Gerbil and Rodent Rescue. This is their website. You can check that out if you want to. They are really cool. It's run by a guy called Jay, who is a really nice guy. They did have a pair of boys or a group of 4 young agouti girls. I kind of am looking for like variation of colors. I know that's kind of selfish, but I kind of wanted to get rats that aren't in the same colors that I've had before. And the boys were albino and a Siamese, both of which I've had, and they were a little bit older as well, whereas the girls were agouti, which is a coloring that I've never had before. Agouti means that kind of brown rat color, like the wild rats, which I just think is beautiful. So I did ask if he would possibly consider splitting up the group of 4 for me to maybe get a pair, and he agreed. So I went to go and collect my 2 new baby beautiful agouti girls.
My
So the background on the girls is they were rescued from somewhere that was breeding their own rats. I think he said that the person had like 70 rats that they were just breeding. The breeding just got really out of control. If you're not keeping on top of the breeding of your rats, you will end up having 70 before you know it. So, and then I think they just gave up some of them to the rescues. That's where they came from. They're about 6 to 8 months old. I kind of suspect they're possibly 5 months old, seeing as they're really small, but I've only ever had boy rats really before, so I'm aware of how big males would be around that age. Girls are smaller anyway, so it's actually quite hard for me to really know exactly how old they are. I'd say they're probably around 5 to 7 months. They're not babies anymore, but they look like babies and they act like babies, so I call them babies. So the cage that I'm keeping them in is the Savic Hamster Heaven Plus. Before you guys start commenting telling me that this is way too small to keep rats in, I am aware this is just their quarantine cage that I keep them in for 2 weeks before I introduce them to my 3 other rats. It is wise to, when you get new rats, especially if you get them from an unknown place, just to keep them away from your other rats for about 2 weeks, just to make sure they don't have any respiratory infections. Bond with them or work with them a little bit, make sure they're all well and healthy and everything, get them used to my smell and tame them before they are going to be going in the much bigger cage that is big enough for 7 rats. So yeah, don't worry about the cage size, they're not going to be kept in that permanently. So I did make sure to leave them alone for about 24 hours after I got them. This is just to make sure that they feel completely comfortable and settled. During this 24 hours, I would sit outside their cage and softly speak to them, maybe hand them a few treats. But here you can see me properly putting in some of the work to tame them. What I do is I open the cage and just sit right there and allow them to come out when they feel comfortable. I also try to gently pick them up and put them back in the cage, just so they get used to me picking them up and touching them. I do try to reward them with a treat after I do this. I just haven't done it in this specific video, but usually I would reinforce their positive behavior with some treats. As you can see here, they are very quick, confident little creatures, and it didn't take long before they were completely comfortably running all over me and felt confident to come out whenever they wanted. So here I'm just using a little bonding pouch with them, so I just put them in this little pouch and walk around the house. They can climb on me, I can put my hands in it, and it's just to really get close so they're really familiar with my body and my movements and all of that. So in terms of their names, I have a bit of a theme running when it comes to my rats. I like to either name them other animals, obviously because one of the rats I have right now is called Panda and another rat I have is called Wolfie. And the other theme that I go for is a video that I used to love to watch when I was a kid, Watership Down, which is a cartoon about a bunch of rabbits that like escaped from a bad environment. They're struggling and trying to live and just all the hardships that they go through. And it's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen in my life, and I'm always obsessed with it. I literally have one of the quotes from the film tattooed on my leg. One of my other rats, the one that passed away, was called Blackberry, which is after one of the rabbits. So when it came to naming these two Agouti girls, I really wanted to name one of them Hazel, which is the main rabbit in the movie, just because she's brown, so it kind of works. I decided to name the other girl Clover, which is Hazel's girlfriend in the movie. So my new rats are called Hazel and Clover. So here they are, after about 5 days I've had them now. Hey, sweetie. Oh, hi, you're so cute. Hi. So they're settling in amazing. They're pretty tame, pretty confident. I've been free ranging them every day, just on this bed, letting them run around a little bit. As you can see, they're very comfortable and confident with me. Yeah, overall, they're just like the most adorable Cute little girls. They are extreme little escape artists, aren't you? So I've had to like rat proof this little bit in the bed, so I've had to shove that down there and shove that there, because otherwise they just beeline for these teeny little gaps. They are extremely quick and extremely skitterish and flighty, but very confident, really small, but just absolutely adorable babies. And I am so excited to have a proper life with them and to introduce them to my other rats. I'm kind of terrified to introduce them to the other rats because my other 3 rats are extremely lazy and fat and tame, and these little girls are very they seem a lot more wild. I don't know if it's just their coloring, but they seem very wild, a lot more bouncy, very active. So I really don't know how the whole intros are gonna go. They seem like a whole different breed of rats, if I'm completely honest, but we shall see. I'm very curious to see how it goes. Hi, sweetie. Even though they are identical, I can just about tell them apart. So this one I'm pretty sure is Hazel, as she's got a slightly bigger body and bigger face, whereas Clover's a little bit more like sharp in her face. Hi, hello. So yeah, they're still not the best with being touched. Well, they don't mind being touched, it's just anytime I go to grab them, which I think is quite common in rats, especially little ones. So yeah, that's the girls. Excuse me. I am going to be introducing them to my other rats soon once their quarantine is up, and we'll definitely be posting a new video on that. So do stay tuned for that if you want to see an update on how the girls are doing. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, please give a like and a subscribe to my channel. I would very much appreciate it. Leave a comment if you have anything to say, if you liked the video, what you didn't like, etc. Maybe not what you didn't like. Those kind of comments are kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!